He's an action figure poser, which means posing action figures is his specialty. SeanSolo8 and it's Vern from OakhurstStudios, who is a master at complaining about pretty much everything. And together, they are the Toy Duo.
Hey, how's it going? As you can see, there's no duo. It's only a solo, and it's not Sean Solo. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys can hear me because I'm not wearing my headset today, and because there's nobody else here, so there's nobody to talk to see if the sound and everything. So if you guys are not hearing anything, you got to tell me in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I just want to introduce the show sort of in a way. Derek, I want my money back. Yes, you should. This is going to be the Toy Duo if the other half ever shows up. It's kind of a new thing. We want to welcome you to the channel. It's, of course, the Toy Duo. It's going to be me, Vern. Well, you know, I changed my handle to Vern Rants over at OakhurstStudios, and then SeanSolo8 should show up momentarily. He's probably at Starbucks or something like that. I think I got both of our links in the channel. But anyways, we have some things that I wanted to like kind of get started and be sort of organized on the show. But with not both of us here, it's kind of like tough to do that. Look at that. Duffman Diorama's member for 1 month. Thank you, sir, for joining and becoming a member. That's a reminder. I do have memberships turned on my channel if you guys want to join and become a member. But I understand if times are tough, whatever, I still have all of my content, plenty of content out there, and I'm still not going to be doing a whole lot of stuff. I do have like a community post board for members, and I post stuff behind the scenes there. And then I do have a couple of videos that I'll throw on for members, but most of my stuff is just going straight out there so anybody could watch it. And I appreciate everybody who actually tunes in to my channel to watch my videos. And I know that sometimes I do complain a lot. And in the intro, I kind of call myself the master of complainers. But I think there's some other people out there that do a really good job of complaining. And sometimes when I am complaining, I don't like hit everything that I want to hit. Okay, so here's Sean. Hey, Sean,
hey,
how's it
going?
going?
Guys?
Hey, so I'm just introducing the show. And it's called the Toy Duo. And of course, the co-host here is Sean from SeanSolo8. I see you got your handle, matches your channel name.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of did a little bit of an introduction on that. I'm just kind of talking about myself and how I like kind of complain about everything. So pretty much on the show, if Sean says something, I'm going to completely disagree with him completely. And then we'll just argue about it endlessly until people get upset about it.
Absolutely.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. But so I do a mixture of shorts, some rudimentary reviews, nothing like what Sean's doing over on his channel. I've been collecting. I can't say I've been collecting for more than 50 years, because I think that, like, you know, when you're a kid and your parents are buying you toys, I don't know if you can consider that the beginning of your collecting, because you didn't really go out and collect the stuff. You know what I mean? So I would say that
But we did have the card back, so where you know, it says collect them all.
Oh yeah, well, they had the Star Wars ones with the pictures on the back, right? But I do say that, like, I have a collection that encompasses probably close to 50 years worth of stuff. And I'm not by any means saying I'm an expert, but if you guys want to say that I'm an expert, go ahead. I will not argue with you. I'm just kidding. Sean, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us about your channel.
I'm SeanSolo8. Been doing this for about 3 years. I've been collecting. I would go back to where Vern is saying. Probably, you know, I had 2 older brothers, and then they had Star Wars toys, so I played with their Star Wars toys. And then at Christmas, we would get a big box full of Star Wars figures. And then when I was 21, I sold all my vintage stuff off, on eBay, like most of us do. And then probably, I think the first figure I picked up maybe about 6 years ago was Black Widow and Carnage, because I saw them on the pegs. Because that's the whole thing about the window boxes. You see them on the shelf,
Right.
you see the pegs, and I wasn't collecting again, but I was like, damn, these have come a long way. And then I picked those up, and then I saw like Anakin and General Grievous, and I thought, oh crap, I have to have those. And then, of course, here I am now in a room up to my waist in toys. And I try to review everything on my YouTube channel. And I met a lot of cool people along the way, like Vern. We've been friends now for about 3 years. And, I've got my hands full. I got 4 daughters, which is why I'm running late. So I just dropped 2 of them off at the mall. They're going to go see Megan again. Have you guys seen Megan? That's a
I've
great
not seen
movie.
it. I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth watching.
Cool.
Other than that, I just love to. I like to play with the toys and
Yeah.
use my imagination still. I can't do that, let's go on this mission like we used to do when we were kids, but I can still put them in poses that I read through comic books and seen in movies through the years. And that's
Nice.
why I keep collecting.
Awesome. So
Anyway, and I have a YouTube channel.
You do have a
Wanna
YouTube
check out
channel. The
reviews.
links in the comments.
Yeah.
So anyways, the show's going to be called The Toy Duo. It started out as a Toy Uno because Sean was late, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So in today's episode, I figure what we do is we do some action figure reveals, which means like maybe go through some of the figures that came out this week or that they got announced in the week or week before or whatever. And we'll just kind of rate them as hot or not. What do you think about that?
I think that's great, but I'm hoping that we're including SH Figure Arts in the mix because they probably had the hottest reveal this week.
So the only thing that I put in into this presentation was the Marvel Legends wave and the Indiana Jones. Just to go through them, but I mean, like in the future, definitely we'll have to like touch base earlier in the week so we can get more figures because I may not have seen the reveals that you're talking about, but at the end of that, we'll talk about whatever that reveal is, and we can talk about whether or not we think it's hot or not. And then after we're done with that, we'll move on to a thing we're going to do. It's going to be the figure of the week, which means we're going to pull an action figure out of our collection, something that maybe everybody's seen or everybody had, and maybe we'll just talk about the character and how that character kind of was developed and where he came from and what that character has inspired in the way of action figures or and toys, and even maybe other properties. And this week we're going to talk about Boba Fett. And then at the very end, we'll just do some tips and tricks to collecting maybe, or we can change that up and do tips and tricks to posing or something like that, or and then, we'll just kind of round off the show with maybe some complaining or just some banter or just talking about what we're looking forward to and stuff like that. But first, let's just say hi to some of the folks in the chat. There were a lot of people that showed up kind of early. Brian Myers was here way before we started. Dino wanted to get a cool Jonathan Redmond's here.
What's up, Jonathan Redmond?
Duffman from Duffman's Dioramas. Jared,
what's up?
Let's see.
I know Gerard's been looking forward to the show. He me.
Sir Eric Brown.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Hey, what's up, Eric? Hey, Jonathan Redmond again.
Yep.
A lot of new faces in here. Hey, what's up, Connor?
We got Miriam. How you doing?
Yeah, I got my bad batch. If you haven't watched episode 3, holy cow, Star Wars, prime Star Wars right there.
All right, we'll talk about those cartoons kind of towards the end because as you know, I don't typically watch the animated stuff. And I'll give you an opportunity to convince me.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
This is where they were joking and asking if we were doing updates on our computer.
Yeah.
right? And then
No, I
Brian's
took my
out.
daughters to the movie theater, and also was an excuse. If you guys know me, I love my
Did
coffee, so I
they
did
asked
do
that too.
mobile order at the same time.
And then they asked that too with if you were at Starbucks. So that came true. Let's see. Lobot, Scuba Pete.
What's up,
Look at that.
Pete? Lobot, what's going on?
I got to throw
Gilster.
Lobot back up there because he got the less than half a second. So
Toyota.
I'm like, holy smoke. I'm just like doing it again. Let's see. Eric Brown saying hi to everybody.
What's up, Eric?
Gilster.
Rolando.
Doing reviews. Yeah. Dino saying he loves
Hey,
doing.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Then he didn't want me to feel left out, so he threw this in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Captain Spaulding, how you doing? Hoppy Creations, hello.
Oh.
Let's see, hold on. He said, I just got my HasLab Ghostbusters Proton Pack today. Oh my gosh, but the box is damaged. Please,
Oh, no
call
way.
them. Unfortunately,
You know, my Razor Crest came damaged too. It had a hole in it. I didn't do anything about it though.
I think that they're going to tell you, okay, we'll ship it back and we'll give you a refund.
Like jerks. Yeah, I was going to say another word.
I think that's going to end up being the solution, unfortunately, unless you can just live with the box that's messed up.
Yeah. These
just because
D&D man figures, that's crazy what's going on.
Yeah, isn't that what they did with the Sentinel when people were complaining about the knees? They just said, okay, send it back and we'll give you a refund.
Yeah, that was sad, huh?
Yeah, it's ridiculous that they didn't like stockpile like extras just in case there was some issue. I have a big issue with Hasbro's customer service. I mean, I don't think it's very good. I saw them on their like live stream. Did you see Usual Mike's video where he did the clip where people are talking about, they were asking questions. They were talking about the wrong figure being in the windowless box and stuff like that. And the lady said, well, they need to reach out immediately, to Hasbro Pulse customer service. Well, that doesn't necessarily work.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like their system is broken for that.
Yeah, I watched Bantha Skull's interview. And they don't care, it's a shame. I used them once, and it was for the G.I. Joe Baroness and her motorcycle. And they did ship me another one brand new, which was nice of them. But that's the only time I've ever used them.
This is 56 Awesome Somethings. This is one of my brothers. He's out in Florida. I think he's going to start. He started posting some videos and stuff of like Disney World. And if you follow him on Instagram and like hit him up, he'll help you like secure items that are only for sale in the parks.
Now, is he the Spider-Man brother?
No, this is my other brother.
Because I love that Spectacular Spider-Man, and I hope it does come back. I hope the viewing numbers, because Disney will see, like, if it has a boost in views, that there's the rest of it's garbage, man. The new one, I don't like it.
Well, that one, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We can talk about that.
Like I told you, Vern told me I have this thing set up for the show, and I told him I'm just going to be going
Let's talk about that
all
later.
directions, man. Sorry.
That's okay. We're all ADD a little bit, right?
I'm going to hold my hands like this and try to control myself.
Blue, this is live.
Absolutely.
It is not Memorex. Let's see. I'm hoping that I don't miss anybody. Here's Vagon. He's joined us. Thanks for coming by. We saw Brian from Brian's Action Figure Reviews earlier. Let's see. Jonathan. Oh, look at that. Dino, thank you, sir, for the super chat. We really appreciate
that. Actually helps, man. It's great when you look at your analytics and you got money coming in. It's a wonderful thing.
Type on the bottom. Okay, so all right. I think we got everybody in the chat. We want to thank you guys for joining us on this first ever episode of the Toy Duo. Let's get back to this. What I want to do is start off. We know we saw this X-Men Marvel Legends action figures with the Ch'ud whatever Build-A-Figure. And I don't know if you saw any of my videos, but I kind of hammered on this Build-A-Figure because it's pretty much the 2016 Abomination Build-A-Figure. They added some fins to like the lower arm, and they changed the head. But I mean, like Chew doesn't have 10 fingers, and he's supposed to have like a rear toe and stuff like that. So I think, to me, I didn't make a special slide for him, but I would just say the Build-A-Figure is a fail or a not hot to me. I don't know. What do you think? This looks cool? Is this going to be in your
I think it
collection?
looks super cool, and I would love it in my collection, but I am out of this entire wave. I don't even think I'm going to get Emma Frost because I don't like the head sculpt.
Yeah,
And I have that Hellfire Club box set
oh yeah,
and the Walgreens.
that one's the best one.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I think
so
I'd pass.
Eric saying I called him Chode. Yeah, it's kind of weird because like it's when you're reading comic books when you're younger, and if you don't hear like the pronunciation of a character or something, you just like pronounce it for yourself for the first time. And then like that's the pronunciation that you stick with no matter what. So
Yeah.
I don't even know that he could be
It's
completely
like AT-AT and AT-AT.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I call it the AT-AT, and what do you call it? The AT-AT?
I don't remember anymore because it gets so mixed up over the years. But I would say AT-AT, I think.
Okay. So Brian's saying he has an articulated jaw. I think that's awesome. So they spent all of the money on that Build-A-Figure, updating the head and giving him the jaw, and they just didn't update anything else really, right? Like
he looks cool though, man. He does.
They should have cut one of the fingers off. Come on, at least.
Yeah, I know. Hasbro, they're dropping the ball, man. I swear, I could do a rant video probably with the amount of stuff going on lately. I seen one video where a guy did the Dungeons and Dragons, and he opened a Hank, and he did it like on video, and it was Diana inside the box.
Is that amazing? Like, amazing, right?
Crazy. And the amount of broken stuff is insanity.
So She Snacks is a new sub. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
What I think it is the assembly line. These workers are on the assembly line. They put them in the box and they screw up, and nobody can inspect them anymore. And you don't want to halt this line with like 30 action figures and get an hour behind on time because they're going to fire your ass.
Yeah,
and these people probably value their jobs over there.
Yeah,
it's pathetic.
The windowless box, I think, is a fail on their part, and I'm hoping that in some back room they're discussing what they can do to fix that, right? So Connor saying that Chode's an extremely offensive word in India, so hopefully we're not offending anybody. Let's see.
What is an offensive word? Hope?
What?
Oh, I'll try to look and read.
All right, let's see. I did know that Connor, thanks for the intel. Can you imagine if you were talking about that action figure at work?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyways, so here is.
That's going to be a peg warmer, man. Huge peg warmer. Beautiful figure, though. Beautiful.
The face sculpt and the hair I like. Right, but I'm just not seeing how. I
like the pose too. I think the pose is pretty cool.
See, and you're looking at it for something completely different, right? Like you're seeing like the pose they put it in and how they took the picture and stuff like that. But as a whole, I mean, like, are you even interested in this figure?
No.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know in the chat. You guys can chime in here and let us know.
Yeah.
Is this
thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah.
Let's see those thumbs ups.
I think it's okay. It doesn't seem to be just like your regular plain figure. I mean, they did some stuff to it, like with the gauntlets and the boots,
and then the shoulder pads look cool.
Yeah, and even that piece like in the front. Now those shoulder pads, I'm hoping are going to be developed kind of like the way they are doing the stormtroopers now.
Yeah,
to where you get the articulation and they're kind of held on with that pin. Because that would be really, really cool. But for me, it's a not, because I'm like you said, I'm not even in this wave pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm budgeting so much now. Because it's just, you really have to pick and choose once you get to a certain point in collecting.
Pass. Yeah.
Over space.
Yeah, I agree with that. Emma Frost.
Beautiful.
You think so?
I don't think this is going to be a peg warmer, only because the other one was Walgreens exclusive and the other one was San Diego Comic-Con, right? And you can't get a gorgeous version like this. So don't think this will be peg warming.
Do you think
it's going to be very hard to get?
people will get this and then immediately do like some sort of a head swap though.
Yes,
Yeah.
immediately. Because is it pinless legs? I can't tell from here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I didn't really pay that much attention to it, but just because like
Because
nothing really interested me. The face just looks awful on this figure. The only plus, I will say, the only plus is
yeah, the
when they've
face
been
is
doing the
terrible, Brian.
female Marvel Legends figures, I feel like all of the faces have been identical. And I think I
Yeah.
had told you this a long time ago. Like, if you had saw a bunch of the figures, they were all using exactly the same face. They would just throw on a different like hair, and then they would do different shading on the face. So at least they updated the face. But I mean,
Yeah.
who did
And the
it?
body
Right?
looks cool. I love the body. I love the outfit. It's a great job. But like you reviewed this figure out of the box set, and the legs are warped. You know what I mean?
Right.
So possibly if you can pop those bottom legs off, but then you would miss. She has what, thigh highs on the
Yeah,
other one.
something like that, right? The
So,
other one.
mhm. But
Yeah.
both of those figures are very expensive. You have to pay, I think, at least $60 probably for either one, the Walgreens or the Hellfire Club. So
Right.
I see this as
As being the
something.
alternative to that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So what about Cyclops? I saw that
I'm
Jonathan
out
said
on
that
that
this is the
too.
one that he's after. This is a tough one for me because Cyclops is one of my favorite X-Men characters.
Hmm.
The one that I really want is, where he's in the blue outfit, but he just has like basically the yellow shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the one I really want. But this guy looks to
Okay.
me,
See,
I
I
think,
wish I could zoom up on these. Here, let me try.
yeah, I think he looks
Oh, I
great.
can. I'm just trying to see if it's the swivel waist or what kind of waist it is.
He
What kind of
has
body
like,
is that?
the right above the ribs, he has like that little ball joint for the
That's the good part.
upper
Yeah.
portion. Not, yeah, so it's not a tilt forward and backward. It is
Hmm.
like a ball joint in there.
Yeah. But
But I
when
don't.
they add that twist in the waist, it's kind of like Spider-Man. You know how this Spider-Man is? How it has, the ball, and then there's the crunch again in the middle. So it works out really well.
Oh yeah, this one doesn't look like he has. Well, let's see. I can't really.
You can't really tell.
Yeah, because of the way I built the presentation, it's kind of. Oh, you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it is the. It does have that
The new
crunch.
new
Yeah,
body.
somebody can
I don't know
say.
what they call it. I know there's like a Vulcan body, a Bucky body, and then I don't know all the names or all the stuff for that.
Yeah,
I don't
this
dig
is
too deep.
exact. I think Dave has it on this one too, where he's saying the color tone is just awesome. I agree with it.
Mhm.
It's just hard because it's not the exact Cyclops that I want.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's kind of like us with Boba Fett, I've got what, 15 Boba Fetts or more. If you're a fan of the
Ridiculous amount of Boba
character,
Fett.
you want them. I can understand where people want him because it
Yeah,
has
that's true.
the all new body, and he does look cool.
Yeah,
But you're gonna have to be a super fan.
I think so too. Yeah. What about
Ooh.
Crosshair here? Starjammer,
Mm.
Corsair.
First thing I think is Soul Calibur,
Yeah.
Cervantes.
I
But
almost feel
looks cool.
like I feel funny about this character because I feel like his sword would be perfect for stabbing through a martini, an olive in a martini.
Yeah.
You know those little swords that you get at the
I
bar?
remember
Yeah.
you can't
And
get
I'm
them
thinking,
anymore, can you? I haven't seen one of those in like 20 years.
I haven't either, but I'm like, he does look kind of cool, but like,
Hmm.
I feel like he's so familiar that I just seen him painted as somebody
Yeah.
else recently.
Yeah, and if you can't swivel that headband, you know what I mean? If that's like just a piece
Just
of
sticking out
plastic,
all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
hopefully
why.
there's a
Like
little swivel on there.
well, the thing is, they did that Electra figure, the movie one with the Jennifer Gardner, and she had a
Mhm.
ponytail and it would swivel a little bit, and I used it as a custom to make like Star Wars figure, and that ponytail has since broken off, I think, because it's so fragile right there, right?
Yeah.
What about this guy?
I like the effects, man. He was pretty cool. Not
I
sure who he
do.
is though.
So if I could find this guy on clearance, I'm definitely going to get him just for the leather jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's pretty much the only thing about this figure that I think is worthwhile. And that's only if, you can put like, you can have them without the flame. Like if the jacket's complete, if it's missing parts because it's being hidden by the flame, it's not worth it for me. But I think like getting a character like this with a plain outfit and a leather jacket, can you imagine like throwing like, well, because, you know, I do a lot of head swaps and stuff. So I imagine throwing like a G.I. Joe action figure head on, or even a specific figurehead on the guy in all black with like a really cool leather jacket. You know what I mean?
I wonder if that flame just comes off really easy.
Yeah, I have to look more at it. I basically, these pictures is all that I saw on them. If you guys don't follow Stateaverse on Twitter, he does a lot of stuff where he pushes out like images and stuff like that. And all of these images actually came from him. He doesn't know it. I take all his pictures because Hasbro won't send me any promotional shots. So is that a Firebeard? I jokingly joked about, was those guys that caught themselves on fire last week trying to burn some place down up in LA or whatever, was joking about that.
Yeah. Rolando, you need to get on Twitter, man. You don't know what you're missing.
Rolando's not on Twitter. Yeah, like Jonathan.
I'm on there over an hour every day on my screen time, easily. Terrible.
I could become a T-Bird. I got the hair for it. Rolando doesn't have Twitter. That surprises me. Yes, get a Twitter account now before the entire system fails. Okay, how about Fang?
That looks like the Beast with a different head mold, so that's a pass for me.
I almost feel like if I got this figure, right, I can take the head off, and if it would fit on this body, this Marty McFly, it would almost be to me like a
Teen Wolf. Yeah, right? Cool.
Yeah, but I think he's a pass for me too. Like, not hot. I don't think it's good.
This whole wave is like a let's recoup our money wave when it comes to Marvel Legends team, I think. I think it's a cash grab, and it's terrible. I hate waves like this. They do it a lot. Like every other wave, they have these simple like repaints, basically repaint waves.
Lack. Oh my gosh. Good one on Rolando. Yeah, you know, it's true. I think when they do something like this, it is a total like just like, hey, let's pack up some figures and see if we can make a few $100, and then we'll just move on. And then the guys that work for Hasbro, when they are like posting pictures and they're like saying, oh, this is fantastic, you know, save your money because this is going on sale. Steve-O from Super Kids. I'm kind of like, I'm not buying them anymore. I'm not buying what they're saying anymore. It's a tough thing to say. Like, you know, when I a few years ago, and when these guys would tweet stuff, I would be like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But not everything can be cool. You know what I mean? Like these Dungeons and Dragons figures, it would have been so easy to make a review and just go, these are the greatest thing. They bring back my whole nostalgia. I'm taken right back to like the 80s.
You need to watch my video then, because that's what I do. Okay. But luckily, I've seen everybody breaking them and everything, and I just really took a hairdryer, and I had no issues, man. And I love them. The nostalgia's there. I'm going to dedicate an entire shelf just for them.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to watch it just so I can get a positive video out of the way.
Yeah, I think watch yours.
I think I told people right away, if you're looking for a positive review, you just go somewhere.
You did.
else.
And that's why it cracked me up, man.
I was like, it ain't happening.
I do. Could they have been better? Yeah, completely. But what were they thinking? You know, these guys, I don't think love the toys. They may love the franchises, but I don't think they love the toys, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you,
like Patrick and those three dudes standing there, they're the ones, you know, they're building these Indiana Jones figures with these single knees and single elbows, and you know, they're not playing with these toys, trying to get them in these cool poses. Like, Hank cannot hold his bow and arrow. What is going on?
And he can't aim up, or he can't aim down.
No, it's pathetic.
I was like, and Bobby can't hold his stick unless it's laying on his shoulder.
And then they shoot themselves in the foot because Venger, like you said in your review, what if they release a horse one day?
They can't release a horse.
They can't release a horse unless you're going to have a horse packed in with Avenger that actually
with Avenger that's just sitting. And
these teams, I think, they really need to get real fans in there.
they could have designed that robe differently by making a split down the middle, right in the front, so that if he was sitting on a horse, those robes would like hang and drape down the side of the horse. Totally could have done that.
Because he has all new, articulation underneath. You see the pinless double jointed knees. It looks amazing. But anyway, let's get on to the subject. Sorry, guys. Like, that's why I told Vern, I don't know if you want me here, man. I'm gonna.
No, we're good. We're gonna do this. I think it's fun because, like, here, like, I'm trying to, I wanted to have like segments that we can have stuff to talk about, so that we don't ever end up in a situation where we're like, now what do you want to talk about, right? Yeah. And the thing is, I think that because of the back and forth, we are not, the two of us don't necessarily always agree. You're a very positive person, I have to tell you. And I'm very critical in some respects, right? So I think we're going to have really different opinions on stuff. And it's nice to talk about how Hasbro as a whole, not just these figures we're talking about this week, but how that's bleeding into the other lines of just lack of interest on their part. It's like, they just don't care anymore. I don't know if they got some memo that says you were required to crank out 97 figures this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you don't crank out 97 figures, you may not have a job next year. I don't know, because they got to keep trying to make that bottom line, and it's got to keep growing because they're a company. Absolutely. So this guy right here, I say not. I think it's just plain. I don't understand it. Again, I don't understand either. It's a simple new head mold with body paint. Quick way to get $25. And Sonny did a really good video. Segueing back to D&D, Sonny did a really good video on D&D and historic too. Yeah, and if you guys need to check out that video, it's actually pretty good. I learned so much from Sonny's video. Is he here in the chat? Probably not, but Sonny, no, I don't think I haven't seen him yet. Hey, Thousand Ghosts, thanks for coming in. Yeah, hey, what's up, buddy? Just got off the phone with Hasbro. They told me to inspect the product to make sure it's not damaged, and that the customer care team will be in touch about a new box on Tuesday. Oh, outstanding. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That surprises me, and that's really good that they're going to do that. Well, the Ghostbusters fans are a little bit different, and it's kind of like a cosplay item, so I think they were probably prepared not to burn. They don't want to burn the shields for some reason. Maybe. They want all these people on YouTube going, look at my Hasbro Ghost Pack. And what could be interesting is that the reason that me and Eric have completely different experiences with Hasbro is because they probably have my name on a list. And when my email gets flagged, right, and like goes to this guy just complains about everything box or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Praise a figure that doesn't only lying to people. Yes. Oh, they made extra boxes for the Razor Crest. Okay, let's see. Okay, so then they did this Indiana Jones reveal. And the interesting thing about this first video that they did was they really said, we're going to do our first solo Indiana Jones video, right? Yeah. And they kind of hyped it up that it was going to be something special. I mean, you're launching your first solo video for a new product line. Even though you've announced the figures, this is the first independent video dedicated solely to this product line. And overall, the presentation to me was underwhelming, right? Like, I think it was pointed out to me that they actually have figures that are in this Target description, the Henry Jones, the Mola Ram, and the Grail Knight, which they didn't even mention in the live stream, by the way, for the 6-inch. Now, I didn't go into the retros on any of my videos because I think overall the retros are pretty good. I thought it was kind of hilarious that they talked about the dress and how they went and looked for the perfect lace. It doesn't even match the original. No, truly, it's like an off color. It doesn't match the pattern. Doesn't match. So I don't know who they sent off to go match those, but he should never play that Sesame Street game. Which one of these things doesn't belong? Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, what do you think about Indiana Jones? And this is a Temple of Doom, right at the beginning when they're in
Yeah.
the club.
Yeah, there's a pretty cool shot where he's like on the floor holding the antidote and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, this is a pass for me unless I
This is
see it on clearance or on the shelf. That may be a different story. But I'm gonna get the first wave with the arc, and I think I may stop there. But of course, we got short round in the
right. Short
pipeline.
round. I think if they come out with Henry Jones, I'm totally
Yeah.
got Henry Jones. I think I said in my video that if they did a River Phoenix inspired young Indiana Jones, I think
that'd
that
be
would
cool.
be a freaking set on its own. Him, his buddy, the little dude, the guy that was after like the treasure that gives him the hat,
Oh, at the very beginning,
thing,
yeah.
the horse. I think that would be awesome if they came up with like a young Indiana Jones set.
Yeah.
But, let's see. Hold on. Oh, Joseph Betts here. Hello, Joseph. Very little interest in these indie figures. Yeah, the problem is it's just like an Indiana Jones head on a suited body, right? But if he goes on clearance, this is the perfect way to get an Indiana Jones head without a hat that you can possibly swap over to the other one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like somebody mentioned, a good 007 body too, that would make.
Yeah, that would be a really good, or the perfect suited body for.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I should probably try to pick one of those up one day.
Yeah, 7 Indiana Jones figures. That's right. Half of the announced figures are Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you have to get that first Indy though. It just looks cool. He comes with the whip and stuff. It looks really cool. And the idol he comes with. Because if you don't get that, that figure is going to be so expensive later down the road.
True. I think so too. Hey, Kat, how's it going? Kat's joined us. So here's the other part about this too. I think that like it's we're talking about these Indiana Jones, and I know that we were going through some of the chat. We were talking about the enemies, right? So if they can't make like a Hutt Slayer Leia, and they can't make like these demons that they were going to give you with this Hell Challenger or Charger or whatever, the Engine of Vengeance, can they do the German soldiers?
Yeah. I know.
Or is that going to be like a touchy subject for them? I'm sure they'll do the dude without the suit, right? The one that he fights at the plane or whatever. But are they going to be able to do those officers and stuff like that? Is that going to be like...
Because they could army build those,
Right? But
really
I mean, like, is it too touchy to put guys in those outfits?
Yeah, they will not. No way.
So I suggest that if you're building an Indiana Jones collection and you want to do that, maybe go get a couple of Red Skulls. I think the uniforms.
I mean, they can just put like red armbands on them.
I guess they could, right? And then not be too.
Yeah.
Because the symbolism is going to be, I think, a tough thing for Hasbro to want to do.
Yeah.
Let's see.
If they make the girl from Temple of Doom, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I'd pick her up too, I think.
I'm gonna answer this question for Thousands Ghost. These are the same guys that do the Star Wars line, so I don't think they're listening at all.
Yeah.
They heard any complaint about Star Wars.
No. Yeah. They say they listen too. In all these interviews, they say they're watching and listening.
That's true.
But they're listening to like shield channels and stuff like that.
They're
listening.
I mean, they make good products. I'm all in on the G.I. Joes, right? Like here's Bazooka. Yeah. I think he looks awesome.
We're lying. I mean, look behind us both,
Yeah, right here. I mean, it's not Hasbro. Like I'm not buying any of the Hasbro figures.
Yeah.
I'm just. And here's another suited Indiana Jones, and the thing is, it's
crazy.
Like, did he have?
It's not the right shirt. Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, did he have a vest in the movie?
No, he might have in that apartment room where he's talking to. I'm not sure.
Not in this outfit, right? Where he goes into the case, he didn't have the vest, so not even accurate. This is like when they.
That's a classroom where the girl says "I love you" and closes her eyes.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have this build as the Temple or the Last Crusade figure because they gave him the shield.
Yeah,
and so it's like when they threw Miggs Mayfield's head on the hover tank pilot and just left the sash red, right?
Yeah,
it just had no attention to detail on there. Still, I mean, this one even worse than the other one I'm not interested in. Let's see. I want to hear somebody says, oh, hold on. So exactly, Brian. Oh, here he goes. Nah, they don't listen. They're just simps for Hasbro. Loads complain and still buy anyways. Oh, he's talking about us.
Yeah.
Like he describes us, right?
Yeah.
We complain and still buy anyways.
Well, I don't really, like you said, I'm overall pretty positive about it.
I think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are. Patrick will ruin Indiana Jones. Let's see. Boss Bounty left last Hasbro Q&A. The answer every question like they're listening and then deflect to a generic answer that doesn't even have anything to do with the question.
Yeah.
And
then they're also pre-scripted too,
yeah.
It's terrible. I don't
now
know.
The retro wave's kind of interesting because I had heard that like a lot of the figures that they announced for the retro waves in the original run basically were peg warmers. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. So what about this guy? What is it? What is he carrying? Is that just a piece of stone? He just he's doing his driveway.
Like half a tablet.
Oh, it's okay. You're right. I was thinking what is he laying out those 2x2s for his driveway, and one of them broke, so he's got to carry it back to the truck and get it.
No, I won't be picking this up. I don't think. Yeah. Even at $8, I don't think I'll pick that up.
Yeah, Eric's calling them Veers, General Veers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just reused the head.
Yeah, somebody said, yeah, they reused that. These look cool, man. They really do. I don't think I'll open them if I get them.
That's the thing, right? It doesn't really matter for these guys because, Thousand Skull said it's the Grail tablet. So if I had a Charlton Heston figure, I could have him carrying it down from the mountain. No, but yeah, these ones I didn't do a big picture. I think overall, the retro line, I think they're going to just do the figures, and obviously they're trying to do them well. They have the little actions and stuff on them and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but I feel like they really are paying a lot more attention to these smaller lines than the smaller figures than the bigger figures.
Yeah, cash is probably easy money for them.
Yeah. Here's that broken tablet is the missing 11th commandment. Yes. You saw that movie, right, Sean?
Yeah.
I give you these.
So you're missing the rest now because you don't want to pull it up really quick. It's over on his page. The SH Figure Art's just Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales. But
okay, I did see those. Yeah, I did see those, and I did not.
And Gwen Stacy looks incredible, man. Spider-Gwen.
Okay, let me find them. SH Figure Art. Whose page?
Statoverse probably has him.
Oh, okay. On Twitter.
But he's got 4 pictures of each, and I would say if you don't get the Spider-Gwen, you'll regret it later. But it's I guess a more college years version. And I went ahead and got Miles too, because I know if you don't get him now, you're going to regret it later too. But those are, for your imagination, really. And you can put them in any type of poses. And the Gwen head mold looks incredible. It's probably the best one we've seen yet.
Okay. Hey, if anybody has seen the Last of Us figures actually at Target, if you could send me the DPCI or something, because I cannot even find it on their website, and I'm trying to track one down. That's what I'm trying to find. Have you seen those in stores at all?
No, they did go on sale on Amazon during Christmas. They were cheaper than normal. Yeah, those.
This is what you're talking about.
That's how you make a toy right there. And MSRP is $63.
Yeah, they look great.
And you get so much more, and it's Hasbro wants to charge us $30. I mean, how much if Hasbro put this together in a box, they would charge us what?
A lot.
It's just crazy. Yeah, insanity.
Yeah,
the quality difference. But does he have one with Gwen Stacy's head you can zoom up on? Looks fantastic, man.
Hold on a second. I saw The Last of Us. Yeah, Dino. Well, thanks for sending me a message.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. 35
Great Britain
GBP.
pounds. Yeah.
But what's the translation? Is that like $59 here?
I think it's almost about the same nowadays because the world's so screwed up.
Smash the like button. Okay, let me go back and because I'm flipping screens here. Let me just not this head, right?
Yeah, dude, that's phenomenal. Look at that. And it's just hyper articulated. Yeah, and Miles looks fantastic too. But I'm a huge fan. I put the first movie up there with Empire Strikes Back for me. I just loved it that much. So can't wait to see it.
Yeah, the figure arts really, to me, they do some good stuff. So I'm pretty impressed with those. Those are pretty good. I think
Yeah.
I just think that they're not cranking out like the loads of figures, like regularly. I mean, did you see Steve-O had done his video? He had posted a toy hunt video, and he basically was like, I think the title of it was like 30 new figures like in the store. If you were all in on all of the stuff that he looked at, you're looking at like almost $1,000 you'd be walking out of the store with action figures. Who, I can't do that. I can't do that.
That's why I have to stop. And that's why I stopped getting Masters of the Universe Origins. I pretty much stopped, except for hot ones sometimes. And the sales are so good. Like She-Ra. I think She-Ra and Horak are the last two that I've picked up.
And
you can get those now for $9 at Target.
Yeah. I must have missed it, Dino. I'll have to go back and rewatch. Can you tell me which video it was?
Yeah, Jonathan said he's not a fan of the SH Figure Arts Spider-Man. Yeah, I reviewed, I think just one. I think I have one, or no, maybe I have two, mostly Mafex. And the one I reviewed is Dynamite figure, really is.
It's having like a figure art Spider-Man or whatever, it's a little bit different because you're right. They do look, they are a little different. The plastic's like a little bit different.
Yeah, that's when I got one like that.
But when you are posing,
you can do anything you imagine that figure is going to do.
Where you can get him into some pose where he's really, I mean, look how close I got his knee to his head.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I couldn't do that with like a Legends figure.
Yeah, and the SH Figure Arts Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Oh crap, those are amazing too. Especially the Mando, because his helmet is like everything is just perfect. The paints are perfect. Everything's perfect.
Right. All right. Okay, hold on. So we did the reveals. See, I forgot to put up the banner. But that's all right.
You went and showed, everybody probably knows Dr. Aphra, the Stormtrooper. I know.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing because I heard that Big Bad Toy Store was potentially sending out preparing to ship notices for Aphra and Scar.
Yeah.
But you go on their website and there's still pre-order. So I wonder if anybody has gotten actually a shipping notice.
Let me check.
Because everyone else is still saying May, whatever. I ordered some figures from this guy in Taiwan. It's that Return of the Nerds on Instagram. If you follow him, he also has a YouTube channel. And during the holidays, I was really hoping to get that Luke before Christmas, but he put the wrong figure in my box, and I'm still waiting for the Luke. He reshipped it like right before the new year, and it's taking a while, right? Like it's like almost like a 2-week shipping from him. But it's not really that much more per figure if you are thinking about it and you really want to get it early, because some of these comic book figures are close to $30 anyways, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying about $7-8 more just to get it like ahead of time. But we'll see if it shows up, because I did order from him the Scar, the Aphra, and the Mara Jade. So I know he packed them up on Thursday or Friday, and probably going to go get shipped on Monday.
Yeah, that'd be cool to have. I'd pre-order them for sure. But somebody mentioned like the anime SH Figure Arts. Yeah, I reviewed that AM from Star Wars Visions, and that's probably my figure of the year for last year. I never did a top 10, but she would be in the top 10.
That was like a $80 figure, right?
That was pricey, yeah, but
Yeah.
worth every penny.
I never saw it in store, and then I thought I did because they have some statues also
hmm
from that line from that
Yeah,
show, and I saw it and I was all excited. And I carried it around for like 5 minutes before I realized, oh wait, this isn't the figure.
no. I didn't get the boy. I passed on him. He just didn't look cool enough to me.
Yeah, figure arts are kind of pricey, and I don't get that many of them. Every once in a while, I'll pick one up if I really like the character. Like this Spider-Man I have, this one came
hmm
in a bundled lot that I got off of an online auction, and
Yeah.
it was mixed in with a bunch of like Marvel Legends and stuff. That's the
And
reason.
occasionally, yeah, you
Yeah,
can get deals too. Like this Iron Man looks amazing. I think I got it for like $40, like $38 on a deal.
yeah, that's
I
really
haven't
cool.
opened it,
Yeah.
but yeah, one day I will open that and I'll be like, why didn't I open this for this long?
Let's see,
But
such you know.
I think that's why I started getting into him because the first one was my Spider-Man, and I think he was as low as like $38 one week because he came with like less stuff.
Look at GeForce. Oh, the YouTube Shorts is going to be monetized in February, right?
hmm
And I guess they changed their partnership that if you have shorts and you get like 10 million views within 90 days or something like that, you can get monetized. So
Yeah,
that's a new goal
yeah,
for a
that's
lot.
been going on.
Yeah.
I liked it better because remember they paid me $100 twice, and now they have all these stupid rules. Actually I give up. I haven't posted a short in on my other channel for maybe like 2 months, man.
I
I'm
never
just
made one
done.
penny off of a short.
Yeah, 213 cents on their new program. I got like
Mhm.
13 cents. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
that's not even worth the time or effort.
okay, let's talk about our figure of the week. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody's like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, uh, here's my original Boba Fett, my Kenner, and that is not the pistol that he came with. Unfortunately, it came from I think one of those newer figures, maybe the newer Boba Fett. I think I just handed it to him because I was like, um,
Mm.
but it's kind of interesting the way Boba Fett has come about, right? How many Boba Fetts do you say
Yeah.
you have in your collection?
Oh, dude, including vintage collection,
Yeah.
probably like maybe 25.
Okay, so I
That's
also have a bunch of Boba Fett's, and I have this book. It's called Return of the Jedi, and it's a storybook based on the movie. Do you remember this thing having this as a kid?
it looks like, yeah,
So
maybe in
it's
school, like you could check it out at the library.
yeah, it was like Random House. I don't know if when you were a kid they did this. They had these like little flyers that they would send home where you could like order books
I still
and
get them. My daughters
and
bring them
magazines
home.
like Dynamite magazine and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Well, every once in a while, when the Star Wars came out, they had these like storybooks, and I looked through it again, and this is the only picture of Boba Fett in this book,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting to me that Boba Fett to me has like spawned this like Star Wars
Yeah.
lore in the Mandalorians and the whole thing, and you got Jango Fett and how Boba Fett's become so prolific over the years, and he spawned from a character that has one picture in that storybook, spent like what a minute on screen in Return of the Jedi, and I mean a little bit longer in Empire Strikes Back, but not really doing anything like exciting or fantastic, right? He was just a
Mhm.
character.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how Boba Fett has grown into this franchise where um, not only do I have the Kenner, but there's a prototype version based on the original manufacturing of the uniform. The Kenner colored one, and then you got the Return of the Jedi, and now he's released on the Return of the Jedi card. You have one that you just did a review on, which was
The tattoo, yeah,
uh,
Tatooine one.
yeah, and
But
then
then
they have
there's that Boba Fett in disguise too.
yeah, right. So there's been so many. Boba Fett's. Now, the thing is about Boba Fett, right? When they were designing this outfit, I think that they were going to make these like a whole bunch of soldiers, but it was cost prohibitive is how they ended up, I think, painting the uniform and making him like a bounty hunter or something like that. He was going to be like a whole crew, from what I understand.
Yeah. Everything's such a mess, man. I can't even find the one I just reviewed. That's how bad my display is getting. Crazy.
So let's
here
see.
it is.
Rolando had that book. G-Force is calling it the Boba Tax.
Here's a new one.
Yeah,
you guys don't have this one.
Good. I don't have it. I actually canceled my pre-order on that.
Yeah, he is epic.
I just preemptively.
My missile broke.
Oh my gosh. Does it go back in there though?
No, because I tried to screw it off in my review and it just snapped off.
Oh.
So don't try to take that off.
So Steve-O still, his neighbor's got a copy. Boba was cool as a man of mystery. That's true. And do you think that they've ruined Boba Fett by giving him this other story on Disney Plus?
No, I think it's brilliant, and I know over time people are going to appreciate that show more.
I think so too. I mean, like, so did you read the original the Marvel Star Wars comics back in the day?
No, that's probably why.
Okay, so there's one issue where they find Boba Fett and he's still alive. And there's this whole thing. I can't really remember the story. I remember I have the comic somewhere. I didn't dig it out, but it's like Han Solo. He ends up saving Han Solo in the comic book, and then I think crashes in like a sand crawler or something like that. And he originally survives, but then kind of like mysteriously may have like died a second time or whatever. But in the episode, he had like lost his memory. That's why he didn't remember who Han Solo was and stuff like that. But it's kind of interesting that they had that little story, and then they have this whole new tale about him, right? Where he survives from the Sarlacc pit. So I think to me, it's like a really interesting character, right? And the way that he's developed over the years. And but I feel like I'm being I've been overly saturated with Boba Fett. And that's one of the reasons why I canceled that one that you just reviewed, was because I'm like, well, it's either I'm going to have a shelves full of Boba Fett or I'm going to have other characters, right? And at some point you got to say, well, okay, maybe I don't need that Boba Fett. Now that one you have, to me, is super cool because the outfit's like kind of like peeling and stuff like that. And
that's what's cool about it.
And it's
and
like
the bullets on his belt looks like just super cool.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's almost like the not trusting of Walmart, though, to not cancel it preemptively on me. I think I wanted to beat them to the punch.
Yeah. Yeah, I got really lucky with that pre-order.
Okay, so here's Jonathan saying he was going to be Vader's right hand, and they were going to have contrasting outfits. That's kind of cool. I hadn't heard that, but okay. So I did get the reason why we're gonna. So I was doing some research on Boba Fett. I didn't do that much, right? Like obviously, this is more like we're gonna let Google. We're gonna let everybody Google and fact check us, right? So we may end up making stuff up in the process. But I got this book recently for Christmas, and this is a book of storyboards from the movie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share this. And so this is like storyboards from the book. And you can see in here where Boba Fett launches off Jabba's skiff. Then he comes down, and you can see on the bottom where he like wraps up Luke with his like his rope right here. And then if you get to the next one, you can see Luke's here, and then he cuts himself free. And then you see that he's getting ready to shoot Luke, who jumped to the other skiff. And then Han Solo swinging that thing around and hits Boba Fett in the back. So that's exactly what happened in the movie, right? So the interesting part is when you look at some of the other, and then he flies off and he tumbles into the Sarlacc, and the Sarlacc burps. Yeah. So they also had these other screens in here, these other shots. And when you look at this, he like lands, right? And he's behind what looks like Chewbacca, and he fires, and it looks like in this one, I don't know if you could see it, he like grazes Chewbacca's shoulder and shoots past Chewbacca, right? And then in this square here, he like cuts off Boba Fett's hand.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So here's a closer view of that shot. You can see where he shoots this guy right here, and he shoots past Chewie, and you can see it kind of like just barely grazes him here. I don't know if Chewbacca's like screaming because he got kind of hit by the blaster fire or whatever, or if he's just screaming because maybe he's in this fight with this guy, like he's struggling, right? But then in this next shot, you can see that Boba Fett's hand is cut off, which didn't happen in the movie. And then you got this part here where Luke actually cuts Boba Fett's backpack or jetpack. I always call it a backpack. I don't know why. But I think it's very interesting that we didn't see any of this transpire, right? But check this out. There is a picture from the movie, and I'll just zoom in on this. Look at that.
That's great, man.
See the jetpack?
Yeah.
It's got like a gash in it that indeed would probably have come from Luke Skywalker hitting that jetpack with his lightsaber. So it's like that was like intended to be in there. And I'm wondering like if they filmed some of it, or if they just didn't think, if it just didn't make the cut, it just ended up on the cutting room floor, or what the deal was. But this to me makes sense when Han Solo hits the jetpack and it launches, right? Because now we know the jetpack has been damaged. So I think it's really interesting that like he had such a short frame on the movie, but there was actually more to that scene, you know, with Luke and Boba Fett, or on that skiff. And I think it kind of makes sense now, you know, when I see like Han Solo hitting him with the jetpack and then it goes flying uncontrollably because it was damaged by Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Now, how interesting would that have been if hold on, I'm going to take a minute and just say, Connor says, if you look closely, the jetpack says made in China.
Yeah.
Let's see. The scene at the Sarlacc pit was famously over budgeted, and he was really tight on Mark on. Okay. So it has to do, so it basically came down to like budgeting, I guess, right? Like that's why we didn't get a lot of the stuff, but obviously there was more to it than what had actually happened, which I think is, to me, is like super interesting because it really could have given a lot more to people. I remember before the movie came out, you know how like there's the internet now, so you can just go watch a trailer, right? There's not a lot of speculation before a movie comes out now about like, oh, who's that? What's going to happen here? Except for when we were watching, I remember after The Force Awakens, oh, who's Rey's parents? Who's this? Whatever. You know what I mean? But after The Last Jedi, all those questions didn't need to be answered anymore because you just didn't know what to believe. But I remember when The Return of the Jedi was coming out, when we were talking about Boba Fett, me and a friend of mine, we were actually saying like, I remember it was like, yeah, he's going to use 8 of his weapons in the movie. There were going to be 8. Like he's got these 8 secret weapons, and we're going to get to see them all in the movie. I remember thinking, and I don't know how I heard this miraculous number 8, but I just remember that's what we talked about was like, oh yeah, what do you think those are going to be? You know what I mean? Like, you're just imagining like, okay, one's going to be like maybe a flamethrower or something, and then maybe some mini rockets or whatever.
Yeah, I never thought like that with my friends because, you know, we played with the toys all the time. And I remember like the kid down the street had the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker before the movie came out, and everybody was all excited. And I thought Han Solo was dead. When The Empire Strikes Back, I thought Han Solo went down there and he was dead.
Yeah.
That's how young I was. I think I was 7 or 8 years old, and I remember going in the theater and Han Solo came back to life, and I thought it was just amazing. That's where my head was.
So you don't even remember the scene where they came up and he goes, "Yeah, he's perfectly carbonized."
It didn't. I didn't know what
Didn't
carbonized
register.
meant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It went right over my head. So
Yeah, it's interesting how like just a couple of years makes a huge difference in like your understanding of like what like transpired. Like in,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean like so could you live without a Boba Fett
Like
in
perfect
your
hibernation. I didn't know what that meant. I don't even think you learn about bears hibernating. I think I was in second. Where was I? No, I was in England. So I was in like first grade,
wow.
6 years old. So
So what do you so did you ever have any Boba Fett figures before you started recollecting as an adult?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I had the kid ones, Kenner. So
I mean, was he like
that's
one
what
of
you
your
mean.
favorite was it one of your favorite characters or was it just
No, it was always Han Solo. And
okay.
Han Solo, Hammerhead, Greedo, just a core with the Millennium Falcon and what I'd play with really. Because we didn't even have a VHS player growing up. We didn't have a VHS player until I was like, I think 16 years old, man, or something like that. It was crazy. So,
So
and we never
see,
had Star Wars. I remember Star Wars would come out and we had to beg our mom, to get Showtime for like a week, and then they would cancel it, I guess, on a free trial
right.
just so we could see Star Wars. Those were the good days, man.
The good old days. I remember riding my bicycle to the theater to see Return of the Jedi on a Saturday. Me and my friend, we rode the 4.5 to 5 mile ride down like the frontage road just so we can get
Mhm.
over to where the movie theater was. We bought our tickets for like the 1 o'clock show at like 8 o'clock in the morning when the box office opened. Then we just like hung out outside the mall until they opened at 9, and then we hung out inside the mall until you know 45 minutes before the movie, and then we went and stood in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, magical times, man. I remember, I seen the Ghostbusters in theaters, Temple of Doom in theaters. And I remember, they wanted to make Temple of Doom R-rated because of that one scene, and it was all over the news, where he rips the heart out and stuff. I'll
And that
never
gives you
forget
an
those
R
times.
rating.
Yeah. Well, that I think it was the first movie to be PG-13, wasn't it? Because of that scene.
It's
I think it was the
possible.
first ever PG-13 movie.
Here's Left 4 Dead Fett. We just finished talking about your namesake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I think that like if we think about it, right, the battle between Jango Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi in those prequels was probably more in line of what George Lucas intended
Yeah.
for the battle between Luke Skywalker and Boba Fett.
Mhm.
In my mind, right? Like I imagine that was his big chance to redo the that scene with newer technology.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever see now like not having a Boba Fett in your collection?
No, no, because when they announced the archive, because I missed out on I wasn't collecting when they had the red lines, and I seen Slave Leia on discount and stuff. But yeah, when Archive Fett came out, that was my first one.
So I'm curious to know from everybody in the chat, like I guess you guys just throw a number or something like that. How many Boba Fetts do you think you have in your collection? Without counting, how many do you think you have in your collection? Boba Fett. I'm not talking about the Mandalorian or
I'm
Bo-Katan or
actually
any other
gonna.
Mandalorians. Just Boba Fett. And if you want to exclude your
Oh, I
like
can't
doubles,
count.
because I think I have 3 prototypes, right? One still in the box and 2 on the shelf. One doesn't have any weapons or anything, but and then I have probably the original Boba Fett. I think I have 2 of the original releases, one in the box, one not in the box, and I have a bootleg one that I came across. And I did not know it was a bootleg until I watched somebody's video on how you can tell a bootleg. So Brian says he has 1 Boba Fett in his collection. That's very interesting to think you only have 1 Boba Fett. And Connor says he only has 1 Boba Fett. And Eric says he has 8-ish. See, I think I might be like
I think I
maybe,
got about 15. I just counted.
yeah, I'll see. Yeah, I think me and you, we might probably have about the same.
So I got Mafex, I've got SH Figure Arts, I've gone all different lines. 5 POA. Then of course you got the vintage, the retro, and then
Jonathan.
yeah, they've made a lot of Fets across the years, and there's a new version of the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett on
Yep.
Vintage Collection, and Black Series alone has what, about 8 of them.
Yeah. See, and I don't collect the vintage collection, but I do have some vintage collection Boba Fett's.
The only one I'm missing is the Kenner Fett. I do not have the Kenner. The San Diego Comic-Con one that you
Yes.
have. That's
Yeah.
the only one I don't have.
Yeah. So my brother says he has one. Does that include Lego? Yeah, I guess, right? It's part of your collection.
I don't have a Lego Fett
a
either.
Lego Fett. I don't have a Lego Fett either.
Do you have a 12-inch Fett? I don't have a 12-inch Fett.
I don't have a 12-inch Boba Fett, but I do. Well, this isn't really Boba Fett. This is a Mandalorian. I just have a metal sculpture of a Mando, of some type of a Mandalorian. I could pretend like he's Boba Fett, but he's not.
Yeah.
Vern and Dino, as old men, we are the few that saw A New Hope in theaters. This is true.
Mm-hmm. I was 2 years old. I fell asleep during the theater, but my mother did bring me to see A New Hope. She tells me.
Say you were in there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Ricardo says he's got 6 Boba Fetts.
In Ely, England. And anybody knows Ely, England, you put a thumbs up down below. That's where I was born. Ely Cathedral. They had the cannons, and then Pink Floyd's album cover with the 2 heads facing. I was born with that cathedral in the middle. I'm not born there, but at the hospital.
Steve-O has 5. Now, Gilster saying he has 57 Boba Fetts.
We're saying not counting doubles, Gilster. Because if you want to count doubles, the TVC, they had some variant versions, and I bought like 4 of those trying to get the variant with the red dots on his chest. So I do have a few.
Oh, that Mola Ram scene was edited in the UK, huh? Okay, so Blue Sasquatch has 1. Yeah, look, everyone's telling Gilster he's the winner with the most.
Yeah.
And he's counting probably his Lego minifigures.
Oh, yeah.
Counts. Oh, and 2 helmets. That's my brother. He's got his helmets. Mm-hmm. He had a picture. He's driving around in his convertible with like the Luke Skywalker helmet, I think.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to display all mine before I have to take my daughter to the movies, just to show you.
What movie?
But I mean, they're going to see Megan again.
Oh.
But I was going to pull them all out, but I've got one inside my Slave One. Like, I've got my figures in cockpits and all kinds of stuff. They're everywhere. So I wouldn't be able to pull them out.
G-Force says he has a Vern custom Boba. That's true. He does. Me too, Sean. A New Hope as a baby in the theater.
Yeah, it was HBO. I remember because that was I had moved to America at that time, and it was on HBO.
What was I was gonna show something, but I forget now. I do have a Boba Fett that fires one of these, but it actually fires the rocket. It's not one of the original. It's not worth a bunch of money. It was one that came out in like the late 90s or something like. Oh, but it's pretty cool. The little rocket fires. You were laughing at somebody's comment?
No, just Jonathan Redmond. And I was going to pull out my Final Fantasy figures because they might count.
Oh, to answer that question.
But no, don't have any.
Yeah, me either.
Don't need none. I got 5 kids, man. So
that's funny. All right. So, anyways, I think it's pretty interesting how like a sideline. I almost feel like Boba Fett like a side character in a series in a movie, in 2 movies from like the late 70s, early 80s. Births like just a
what can we compare it to?
Following and
because Jaws from James Bond had more screen time, and he doesn't have a following like that.
Exactly.
The guy with the metal teeth. Who else? Who can we compare the screen time to?
Like Boba Fett?
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like, but there are plenty of background characters in these original Star Wars films that didn't birth the same. same type of like
But Boba
reaction.
did have a little bit more screen time. Just the dinner room, it's so iconic. They're across the dinner table. They walk in with Han Solo, and
Yeah.
Boba just happens to be standing next to Vader.
To this day, I think that dinner scene is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard of, because like they had him locked in a room, and it was like, I made that little short video, and I think somebody told me there was an Adult Swim, but it was like Lando Calrissian coming down, and he's like, okay, I got him locked in the room. You can send your troopers up to get him. And Darth Vader like, no, we're going to have a dinner. We're going to set the table. We're going to invite them down. And
they were completely off guard, getting dressed in clothes, and could have got him then. You're right, man.
Oh, Rick had a pretty good show today. He had artist on his show, and it was pretty good. If you haven't had a chance, you guys go check out the rewatch on that. It was really good.
Oh, I don't have a Funko Pop Fett. Yeah, I'm missing a few lines.
Yeah, I don't have a Funko. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that the whole thing about like how they get him down to this dining room, and then like maybe he's telling Boba Fett, what am I supposed to do? Well, why don't you just pop out from the back? And you just pop out. Oh, I'm Boba Fett.
I know, it's crazy, man. Movies were cool back then,
Oh,
we're so spoiled today.
So the other thing is, let's see, tips, tricks. All right. So do you have any collector tips that you want to share with other people that you think could be like interesting, or a way to like
throw your boxes away. Open your toys and throw your boxes away.
What do you mean, just throw them away? Or
and if you have a recycle bin, put the plastic in there, and so take a picture for Hasbro and say, look, we're recycling the plastic. Give us it back. That's my tip.
Do you think that would help?
No, but I know Bantha Skull has a survey, and I think his thinking is that way, because we do need to fix these problems.
So one of the things that I've been doing, and they'll probably change it now that I'm going to say it, is sometimes when I order from Target, they'll do like for $35 they'll ship for free. So sometimes I'll add something in there and then return it.
Yeah.
Like recently I got a figure and I just needed to get over $35, so I ended up throwing that $13 Jawa in. It was like $13 online. I ended up just returning it the other day and got my $13 back, and I didn't have to pay for shipping on my 20.
Yeah, that works. That is a good tip.
Yeah.
I'll probably start doing that.
And then if I have something on order and then you go into that Target circle or whatever, sometimes there's like sales or deals. I'll redo the orders and then take advantage of the 25% off or whatever, and then just cancel the original orders. The only downside to that is I did that with like these G.I. Joe classifieds, and now my Recondo is back ordered because I'm sure he went out to all the people who pre-ordered ahead of me, which I had an original pre-order that I canceled, but ultimately I'll get him and he'll have been cheaper because I used one of those deals.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I didn't do the Amazon when the Dungeons Dragons came out and they were on Amazon. I still held off, so I ended up getting my entire wave for $100 rather than paying.
So check this out. So remember when that thing was like spend $100 and you got like $25 off, right? And I think I did the entire D&D wave. And then Amazon sent me a thing saying, if you want to do this, like pick up in one of their little boxes, how they have those little lockers. If you want to pick it up at a locker, we'll pay you $10 to try it out. So I ended up getting 2 of those D&D figures through Amazon because it was going to be like the next day. That was Hank and Bobby, and I got $10 off the figure. So I got them for like $20 a piece, and then I just picked them up at the locker. So I went back to my Target and I just took the chance and I canceled those 2 figures from that order, and I still got the discount on the rest of the figures, even though
no way.
Even though it dropped me, it was because at the time I ordered is when they offered the deal, and it still gave me the deal on the rest of the figures.
Yeah, see, I tried to change my payment method on that deal, the save $25, and they told me that I would lose that deal, and I was like, so I just kept it on the card I had.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. JT is saying, why didn't they clamp the Falcon or something to stop it from taking off from Cloud City, or leave 50 stormtroopers there?
Yeah.
Instead of just turning off the hyperdrive, or they could have removed the hyperdrive so that you couldn't just turn it back on with a droid. So how, like the clamp, I'm imagining, like, when you go to like big cities have those little parking meter things, they put that little boot on your car. Is
Like
this
they did in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
In the Bad
Do they
Batch.
do it in the Bad Batch?
Yeah, they do it in the Bad Batch. They put these clamps on their ships so they can't take off.
Oh, okay.
And then Echo goes underneath, or Wrecker, I can't remember, and he's got to take the clamps off so they can get off the planet.
All right, Sean. So here's your opportunity to convince me why I should be watching the Bad Batch.
It's just great, man. Just give it an opportunity. Watch it while you're like laying down and you're about to fall asleep at night, because that's how I started and got into the Clone Wars. Every night I would just put on an episode and fall asleep, and now I'm hooked. And in fact, I'm rewatching the Clone Wars again. I'm on season 2 for my like 10th rewatch. And sometimes you don't even notice other stuff, but it's a good story. It's like reading a comic book.
This is what I heard. Okay, I'll translate that to what I heard. Hey, when you want to fall asleep, just put on the Bad Batch. It'll knock you right out.
It will. It does.
And then you'll have to rewatch it because you won't know what happened.
That's what I do.
Because it put you to sleep.
But it's fantastic. Well, I'm just saying, if you're bored. If not, say like when we get off of the show right now, watch season 2. Start there if you really want to. Actually, season 1, episode 1 is kind of cool because they do Order 66 right there on screen. That guy that plays. I didn't like Rebels though. You know what I mean? I've tried Rebels, dude, maybe 8 times, and I've only liked certain episodes, like where Darth Maul's in it. But I just couldn't get into Rebels.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for me because there was like a certain point where all of a sudden animated shows just didn't appeal anymore, right? Like, and I did watch about 4 episodes of season 1 of the Bad Batch, and it's just hard for me. I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't do it. It's like,
that 4th episode where you quit, it's kind of lame. Is that the one where they go off to the planet and
I think I skipped a few episodes. I think I skipped, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just watch this week's and see if it got any better. I think that's how I did it. I didn't continue. I just skipped a few episodes just to see. I think the last one I saw, they were in like a big ship or something like that. They were trying to get parts out of it or something. And then these other guys came in. I think it was already, who's the guy with the sniper scope?
Oh yeah, Crosshair.
I think he was already on the other side or something like that.
Yeah, maybe just like somebody said in chat, just watch this recent episode 3 episode, because like I was saying, it's like a comic book. You don't have to watch them in order. It's kind of like the Mandalorian, where, well, they did kind of tie a story in, didn't they? But each episode had like a different story, and I really enjoy that about Star Wars, and that's what George Lucas intended, kind of. Really, he wanted it like a Saturday morning deal.
All right, Bad Batch episode 3 was awesome.
It was.
Crosshair show.
My daughter hated episode 3. She was like, "Dad, this is the worst Bad Batch I've ever seen." She's sitting here bugging me right now.
Yeah.
But she's only 7 years old because Omega wasn't in it. She's like, "No, Omega's not in here. This is garbage."
Wow.
So
Crosshair is the most interesting character because he has his own dynamic.
It's so cool, man. And there's spoilers,
All right. Spoilers for
season 2 of Rebels. Okay, Jonathan, I'll try that.
What did he say?
Well, I'll just tell you, or no. Somebody special is in episode 3 of Bad Batch.
Spoiler, everyone.
Yeah.
Somebody special?
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
Oh, no, he just said it here. I like seeing Cody again. But Commander Cody is in it, and it's really cool. He's got a new outfit. We're getting that figure, so we're going to have a new Cody coming.
I mean, isn't that like the main reason why they make a new show, so they can
Yeah. Well, it should be. How do you explain Andor? All those figures, I haven't pre-ordered or bought a single Andor figure yet, because to me, that is a waste of shelf space. Why would you dedicate a shelf to Andor figures?
For the Andor maybe, and like the droid. I mean, I think they're integral characters in the overall story just because of
I
Rogue
wouldn't
One.
mind a little square droid. I might, but unfortunately, you got to buy what, a $60 box set to get them.
Yeah, I got
So,
Bix just because I think we'll probably see that character again,
ooh, yeah.
and I'm thinking
I'll
like
pick her
we
up if I see
do.
her.
Hopefully, they'll build that character into somebody that we really, really care about. Like she'll end up being somebody important, at least in
But
the
it's like
Empire,
The
right?
Last Jedi all over again, man. Those figures peg warmed forever. Like DJ, if somebody has a DJ in their collection, is it at the front of your display? Let me know. You know, who was the other one? Oh boy, they had some bad figures, didn't they?
Which one for the Last
You need
Jedi?
to make you need to make a show you can make toys out of. If that should be like a ground rule for Star Wars. Is this character make a cool toy? If he doesn't, get it out of here. Like Boba Fett, for example. Look what happened there.
Well, it's interesting because I think when they came out with like the Last Jedi figures, they had what was it? Was it Benicio del Toro or
Yeah,
whatever?
that's the DJ figure.
Yeah, and it's like they paid him for his face and all that kind of stuff, and to make the figure, and they probably felt like his fans would buy that figure,
Yeah,
right? And it was just like, oh, his fans probably weren't big Star Wars fans.
no,
And Star
no,
Wars fans were like, "Well, what is this thing where they're in this like slow speed space chase, but somehow they were able to easily escape to some sort of gambling planet?"
yeah,
The whole thing to me was just underwhelming. That show, anyways.
yeah. Really, really is, man.
Let's see. Hold on. Cad Bane show.
Yeah, I bought both Cad Bane figures. Amazing.
Let's see. Hold on. GeForce is saying we cry all the time about repacks and repaints. Andor figures are all new, and I would say
Yeah.
that, and for a good point, maybe right, but those soldiers are basically kit bashed figures.
Oh, those
Yeah,
figures. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a cash grab.
they are a total mix of like,
Hmm.
I think the Imperial officer along with that Mud Trooper, or maybe the Veers or
And
whatever.
then there's one of Andor with the black jumper
Yeah,
on
I
him.
mean, but the basis of those figures comes from other figures they already made.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll get all those for cheap. The only one I regret not getting that's a plain figure is the Bad Batch Walmart exclusive guy. He's like an Imperial officer. I don't even know his name for sure, but I wish I would have got him.
So I did get some heads for characters from Bounty Supply Company, and I'm currently working on making a couple of more custom figures. So I wish I would have picked up a couple more Quill figures when they were on clearance, just to make more different Ugnaughts and stuff like that. I wish I
Mhm.
had done that, but I kind of missed out. Um, so
I wonder if he went up in price.
yeah, they're talking about Hammerhead, and I did this one.
Yeah, I remember that.
And and I got the suggestion to cut the neck, so I cut the neck down on the figure, and I think it looks way better now.
Yeah, I thought it looked better
Yeah,
than last time.
but
Why we
so,
haven't gotten one of those yet is just crazy.
right, it's just amazing. Well, it doesn't surprise me though, because they're too busy figuring out how many more Indiana Jones figures to make before
I
anybody ever
know.
gets one.
And once they make him, they can make the governor. You know how the governor in
Yeah,
Book of Boba Fett? That'd
yeah,
be a cool figure too, with that mouthpiece, the little voice translator.
exactly, man. That would be really good. I mean, they just make the one head sculpt, and then they
Yeah,
just got like a slew of bodies they could make, right? I
yeah,
mean, they already made Bosk, so they can make a bunch of little figures,
yeah.
just put them on different bodies and
Oh
outfits and
yeah,
stuff.
little
Why
army
they
ones.
haven't done that?
Yeah,
I mean, if they want to repack and repaint, I mean, that's the way to do it, to me. But
yeah.
um, well, that was
Yeah,
the
I picked up both Credos. I've got the that exclusive like old school one and the new one with the vest.
right. All right. So, what time are you going to the movies too?
No, they already left. That's
Oh,
why I
okay.
was running late because I had to go
Okay.
drop them off and
All
come
right.
back. So, because she had a friend sleep over, and then tonight I'm gonna have a house full of girls again. It's gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna be able to
Oh,
do any videos or reviews. I always have to wait till it's like super quiet.
and then you
No,
got
Abby and somebody else is sleeping over too.
is your daughter in there watching you,
She's waiting. Yeah, she's waiting for me to get off.
waiting patiently?
Yeah.
Come on, Dad, I want to play. I want to play with all
I
the
don't know what she
adventures in
wants
here.
yet. I'm just keep telling her, hold on, hold on. So I think I broke a record of not like bouncing off the show. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was like, give me
No,
a second,
that's
I'll be
good.
back.
Anyway, so I think we did the hot or not, right? We talked about the figure of the week, and we'll figure out what maybe we're going to do next week for figure of the week. We'll talk about that. And then, unless the chat
Yeah.
wants to chime in, do you guys want to talk about a specific figure next week? And we'll do some research on the history of it. You guys can do some research on the history of it, and then we can have like a really good discussion over the impact of that character. I think Boba Fett overall has had a great impact on Star Wars over the years, especially
Unbelievable.
especially in recent years with the
Yeah,
rise.
dude, I just opened the app. Yeah, 29 people were watching the show,
Yeah,
so I guess
yeah.
people like us, man. How crazy.
So I hope that
Madness.
I hope that everybody had a good time
Yeah, same
checking out
here.
the Toy Duo today. I think that's what we're gonna do is kind of go over the figure releases, kind of like yay or nay 'em. We want to do a figure of the week, talk about it a little bit, and then maybe do a wrap up with some tips. Maybe next week Sean will show us how to do some action figure posing. But do you want to show anything off before we go?
No, not really, because since 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard, I lost my mojo on that.
All right.
But my collection has gotten so much bigger,
I
and
imagine.
yeah, I don't know what to say.
All right.
So, oh, let me just show this guy out. That's cool.
See, I
I
knew I could
finally
get
got
it.
the comic book Spidey.
Oh, check this out. A Thousand Ghost sent me. Where is he? Dun, dun, dun!
Oh, you got one too? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
was like,
cool figure,
holy
man. Good
smoke,
job,
dude.
Vern. You
I
didn't
was like
have one of
super
these
stoked.
before, did you?
I never did. I kept asking you to send
Yeah,
me one
I
when you had
remember.
like
Yeah.
5 of them, and you kept
No,
saying,
I only
"No,
had one.
no, dude,
It
I'm
was a
never
black
sending you
suit
a figure."
symbiote Spidey. It was a
The only
symbiote
problem is, look
Spidey.
at this. It's not punched.
Oh, no way. So that will be hard to open. Oof.
Yeah, so it's like, how do I open the darn thing? It's
And this
not
was like
punched.
a Comic-Con one too, I think. And
Yeah, so
Walmart
I'm
had
like,
it though.
how do I open it if it's unpunched?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know if
Oh,
I'll
it's
open this one.
so torn, but I mean, just awesome to have. So I gotta
Yeah,
see pieces of that.
that's the one to have. You should hang that probably right below your poster there. I think it would look cool. You got that white space
Oh, right over
underneath that
here.
poster. Yeah, it would look cool
Yeah.
right
The
there.
only problem is my pile will get higher and run into it.
Yeah. Your
But
pile's like that. You got to see my pile, bro. It is so
yeah.
bad.
So I did a short video just before we go, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I was working on my Bazooka review, and
Yeah.
Bazooka is one of the Tiger Force figures, and it's a plastic packaging. But the Duke and Ram is also Tiger Force, and it is a plastic-free packaging. So it's like the
Yeah.
same wave as like split, right? It's like
Mhm.
bizarre. Anyways,
And I've
whatever.
seen the art on some of those boxes too, man. What are they thinking? They got
Yeah,
like
I don't
this
know.
art for 3-year-olds on there. It's crazy.
look at
Someone doesn't
Rick
like me, they said in chat.
unpunched. What does that mean?
Unsmushed.
Wait, what did you say?
Someone didn't like me. They said I like Vern, but I don't like Sean.
Oh,
There he is.
he said he
Christian,
was
right?
only
Is
joking.
that
So
it?
was Canyon.
Yeah.
Usually I'm the one
That's
that
fine.
I get the oh, Vern again. I think I was pretty
It,
good. I didn't complain too much.
somebody said RIP 3MML. It's not my fault, guys.
Yeah,
My
I think
fault.
we'll just let that go. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Whatever, man.
Yeah, we'll just
I
let
got
it
other
go.
things to worry about.
Anyways, we do appreciate everybody who came by to check out the Toy Duo.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do this again?
Maybe we'll see.
All right.
We'll check it out. I know you put episode 1 on the show, and I was like, I'm in trouble now.
You're locked in. Just try to be on time next time.
Yeah. It's not
You missed the
possible,
first
bro.
half of
It's
the
so
show.
hard. like the last, it was literally 30 minutes before the show that like you have to take because my wife had to go somewhere. It happens when you got this many teenagers in the
No,
house,
I understand. I understand it. I do like coming on a little bit earlier than later. It's a little bit nicer for me because it's not like right in the middle of the day. Um,
Yeah.
so I just hope that everybody kind of enjoy the time that we that we put in here, um, and stuff like that. And I think kind of like having the like segments, something that we know we're going to talk about and stuff like that. We can always change up the segments from week to week, but I think it just keeps us moving along and stuff like that. If you guys have any comments or constructive criticism or anything like that, feel free, drop them into the comments and stuff like that. Give us some
Yeah.
advice. We do want to grow. We do want to keep the momentum going, and we love our toys. So we,
And I had a good time. That's what it's all about. I hope everybody else had a good time. So thanks for inviting me.
thank you. I think it's great to have some discussion about like action figures. I really like talking about Boba Fett. I mean, like, I think if this was, I kind of was putting this together this week. If maybe I had like sent some stuff over like earlier, like, hey, let's talk about Boba Fett earlier in the week. We could have been a little bit more prepared. But I really appreciate everybody who like jumped in and gave us shout outs in the chat and joined in the conversation. It's really interesting to see how many people actually have Boba Fett and how many Boba Fetts you guys have. One, right? And so like we're looking at it, and we'll definitely go on and we'll talk about Marvel and we'll talk about other characters.
SH Figure Arts, more Japanese imports.
Yeah, and other characters from other franchises and stuff. We're not just going to talk about Star Wars. But I do appreciate it. I think I got a new member today and super chat. That was super awesome. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Peace out, everyone. Take care. Be safe.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
He's an action figure poser, which means posing action figures is his specialty. SeanSolo8 and it's Vern from OakhurstStudios, who is a master at complaining about pretty much everything. And together, they are the Toy Duo.